Greetings and welcome to Armored Core Reforged, the series where I take the preset ACs of the game and optimize them to the best of my abilities, preferably making them viable in PvP. The process will consist of me going over the original build, then I will go over the upgraded version and all the thought behind it. And then finally, me and a volunteer will do a final PvP test to see which version of the build is indeed superior. As well as after this video goes up, I will be making a community post where you guys can vote as to which preset will be the next featured on Reforged. But all that said, you have yourself a very good one, and enjoy. Alrighty, for this episode of Reforged, we'll be taking a look at Gun 5 Iguazu. Last episode, we took a look at the original Raven, and in that Reforged video, I asked for y'all to give it a good old name, as you did for the Rusty. And the best name I chose out of the many good suggestions was definitely Dark Star for the new Nightfall. The description of a Dark Star very much fits, and yeah, I really enjoy it. But with that out of the way, let's get into the detailing of Gun 5 Iguazu's original AC. Alrighty, Iguazu's build is very much a medium to close range, shield-bearing biped AC. We'll go over the playstyle in a minute, but first let's detail all the parts. For the weapons, we have the linear rifle Curtis, pretty solid at medium to closest range. Its charge attack is very nice, it does not overheat until I believe 3 shots. Fairly good stagger, indeed. Not the most, not as good as its bigger brother the Harris, but still pretty solid and can be fired much more often. This is the slower, or the faster yet weaker variant of the Harris. And to pair, a close range machine gun Ludlow. This is very solid, it's rapid fire, very good at getting close, keeping up constant damage and stagger buildup, very solid indeed. For the shoulder mounts, we have the Balaam Multi 04. This is a pretty alright, very early on unlocked missile launcher. Comes back pretty fast, the missiles tracking is alright, but nothing really that crazy, just a standard missile launcher. And lastly, the SUR-8 Pulse Shield, a decent choice for a parrying shield to use when you're reloading all your weapons or you need to block an incoming RPG or missile. A decent shield choice, but not the best. For the parts, nothing crazy specific, just all Melander C3 parts. And with his current assortment, he has a 9k AP, which is very solid, or technically 9,600, which is again pretty good. All defenses over 1100, again pretty solid. 1700 stability, pretty damn good. And we're hitting the 310 speed threshold, which is pretty standard for most medium to lightweight builds. For the inner parts, for the booster, we have the G2P04 booster, a very good all-rounded booster. Doesn't really specialize in any particular stat, just kind of a good all-rounder, which I suppose fits in the theme of this current assortment, having medium to close range weaponry, standard missiles, a shield just in case, and a booster to fit. Gun 5 Iguazu's build is definitely a jack of all trades, leaving him to be a master of none. Again, reflecting this pretty well, the Talbot very much solidifying his stance as a medium to close range fighter. And Generator Mangtang. Again, another really good all-rounder gen. If you can fit it, definitely pretty good. A good substitute for the Santai, indeed. And expansion, nothing, which is, yeah, it makes sense. For some of the earlier enemies you fight, they won't have any expansions. And when it comes to the playstyle of Iguazu, it's very simple. Just fire at missiles whenever they're back, and spam both your weapons, whether you're at medium to close range. Thing is, these bolts paired, as we can see, the recoil is not preferable, indeed. So maybe it's better to just use the charge attacks of one and the rapid fire of the Ludlow. Then use that to stagger break and then just dump into him. That's pretty good. A constant firing weapon with a weapon that is decent with its normal fire, but is really good to proc stagger with its charge attack, indubitably. And of course, just a shield for whenever it can be used, whether we're caught reloading or we need to block some incoming heavy damage. But yes, this is the main Iguazu. Let's take him into the forge, indeed. Here he is, Iguazu Reforged. For the weapons, I ended up switching out the Curtis for the Rensetsu RF, a slower but stronger ranged weapon indeed. It will serve us a lot better in our ranged adventures, as well as its slow fire rate will allow us to keep up what seemingly will be unending pressure and stagger buildup from the enemy's perspective, as well as it does have a charge attack, so we still do get our charge attack combo with our close range weaponry. Speaking of, I ended up switching out the Ludlow for the burst machine gun Istujin. With this weapon's burst pattern, it will be a lot easier to build up a lot of stagger that we can then capitalize and continue with our rifle, indubitably, using its charge attack to drive it overboard and get some good old direct hit adjustment indeed. Ended up switching the Balin missiles for the Javelin Beta. This thing is just absolutely cracked. Super good tracking, super good stagger build up. The tracking or the lock on time can take a minute, but honestly it pairs pretty well with its reload time. So really just a small price to pay for salvation. Ended up switching the shield to the superior 61 PS shield. This one's cooling is insane. I believe it's max, which might be the highest out of all the shields. So if you space the shield usages out even a little bit, you can seemingly have infinite parries, which is very, very great. And with this new assortment, we are reaching greater stability, greater defenses, and still within the same speed. For inner parts, I'm going with the Alula booster for its nice good old stats. It keeps us in 310, as well as, we can use the assault boost speed to close the distance if we must. And FCS keeping the Talbot, as those are the ranges we will be in. And for generator, you can either go with the Koro Gen for much more capacity and be a little more aggressive and not care about your regen all too much, or you can switch to the Hakushi for if you want more regeneration and you prefer going to the ground and watching your stamina. And gonna give our boy an expansion of Pulse Armor to prolong our kiting ways. And for the playstyle, pretty much exactly the same. Just fire the missile whenever you want, use the rapid fire of your close range, and use your long ranges to keep on damage, keep on stagger. If stagger is full, you can even charge up your rifle, then go for the shot. Doesn't do as much great stagger as, say, the Curtis, but honestly, it's not really why we even have it. It's just kind of there. But yes, this is my new Reforged Iguazu. If y'all have any good name suggestions, feel free to leave it in a comment for sure. And next video, we'll dub him with such a name. But yeah, now we'll just do the PvP test where I have another player pilot the original, I pilot the Reforged, and we battle out to see if this new build is indeed superior. Alright, I got my buddy Shattered on to help me with the PvP test. I'll have links to his projects, or his social medias, so you can check out his projects over there. He does comics and art and all that cool stuff, so definitely feel free to go take a look and show some love and some support. But yeah, he'll be piloting the preset original Gun 5, and I will be using the Reforged, and we shall battle for supremacy. Enjoy. Oh, Mr. Iguazu.
So the main thing about Iguazu is they have a good punish.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of similar to a kite, but medium to close range. Yeah, looking at a lot of the stats of his like gear, it's all really like all-rounded type stuff. He's like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I suppose that would all speak to his character. Do be him with the all my speed.
That missed you, damn it.
I paired it with a shield.
Okay.
Shield's pretty good.
I forgot I had a shield. Oh, I have a fucking expansion on this. Are you serious?
Yeah, no expansion, which is rough. But it's lore accurate.
Lose because of that.
Hey man.
Oh.
Fortnite.
Can't look like you do. Oh. Yeah, you like perfectly equipped to counter me. I have no expansion, just carry all my shit.
You're right, you're right. Death by the bajillion cuts once again. Mr. Iguazu Man has received his upgrade. Alrighty, that is it for the video. I'll be sure to make a poll for the next build featured, as well if any of you have a cool name you'd like to share, throw your hat in the ring in the comments for sure, and I'll get you back to you with the results next Reforged. But yeah, all I said, y'all have yourselves a very good one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bases.